Welcome back to the channel. Taking a little break from the Christmas decorating. Got a lot of it done. I'll be putting out phase 3 in the next couple of days. The tree hasn't gone up. Switching gears a little bit because we got some functions at church. We got some things that need to be done in the baking department. I've been inspired a little bit this year by a couple of things. I like to eat. I like baked goods. I like homemade things. And I was going through my kitchen cabinets because this time of year you're trying to get all your stuff together for cooking. And normally I'll do the turkey, the fixins and things. I like to cook in the kitchen for the meats, the typical guy things that we like to cook. I was at my mother-in-law's recently, and I got inspired by the Southern Living Book of Christmas. So I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. This is like a giant atlas of cooking, decorating, entertaining, giving, an all-in-one, do-it-all book for all your Christmas favorites. So I've been inspired. This was at my mother-in-law's house. She's got these kind of things laying around all over the place. And I thought, why not, The first thing you want to do that I've learned is go into your cabinets and dig out everything that you already have. You know what I mean? Like the baking powders, the all-purpose flours, the sugars, everything that you think you might need before you even look at the recipe, because a lot of this stuff is the same across the board. You're going to have confectioner sugars and chocolate chips and all these different things. Not to say I'll use all this, but get it out of the cabinets because you don't want to buy what you already have. Got the butter here. Someone told me you want to take the butter and just leave it out. Room temperature butter works better with baking. I'm in no way experienced in these matters. Here in just a minute, we're going to be heading to the grocery store, picking up some items, got the appropriate apron on. So stick around. I'm going to try to take you through. I've got a stand for the camera. We're going to try some different angles on it. Join me as I adventure into the unknown. Baking is a different beast altogether. It requires some patience from what I gathered. Happy Thanksgiving in a couple of days. We've got the turkey bowl coming up at church. We got a lot of things. Tomorrow night is a fellowship with pie, and we're gonna share gifts to missionaries. So it's that time of year where you just need to get in there, get in the kitchen, wrap some gifts, see your family, whatever it is that you like to do. Stay encouraged. Stick around for this one. I got a feeling this is going to be worth your time. Also, I wanted to include one of my neighbors. They do interesting things with skeletons throughout the year. I think they've gotten the idea. Halloween, you can put up the skeletons and then just leave them up, and then you can decorate them seasonally throughout the year. So we've got like a Thanksgiving theme with the hunters and the turkey. As you can see, he's made good use of his skeletons throughout the year. Peruse through the old local food line here, right up from my house. See the things. I did have some of those things on the list. I had the vanilla extract. Can't forget the extracts. Got that. Had the powdered sugar. Had some regular sugar. Had a lot of, but I made myself a list either way. Got the Christmas trees here. This might be the way to go. I've got this 12-footer in my attic that I've got to drag out at some point. This might be the way to go. This may be the better option. Get one today. Here's my list here. As you can see, I need some white chocolate, some pecans or pecans, depending on where you're from and how you say that. Buttermilk. Never bought buttermilk, so that'll be a first. Cake flour. Don't know the difference between the cake flour or the all-purpose flour, but we need to do the cake flour. Lots of cream cheese. 9-inch cake pans. Don't have any. Got to get those. Wax paper. All right, let's see what they got. I don't know if you guys do this at your food line, but when you walk in, this is a hack from one of the guys that work here. It says always Always come in here and type in your MVP.
Easy holiday appetizers.
Spit out some coupons. You really don't have to take them. It just puts them on your account. So in the event you do grab something that's on sale, you know, life hack, always do that. Some of the things here. Look right up there, you'll see baking needs. So I'm gonna need some baking stuff. So aisle 4 is where I'm heading. All right, I've got the round 9-inch baking pans. I only got 2 of them. So if I'm going 3 tiers, you know, I'm just gonna have to make it work. Okay, here we go. We got the baking soda. I found I had some baking powder, but apparently these are 2 different things. You got double acting. I don't know if I need the double acting, but I'm going with, you know, you can save a penny and get that guy right there. So we got the baking soda. Baking goods are pretty cheap. It's like $1 for a lot of things. A couple bucks here and there. All right, now I'm looking for white chocolate. This is interesting. So we have a white chocolate style. I don't know if I want to do white chocolate style. I'd rather have like the real thing, you know, like go Ghirardelli's on sale. You know, they're pretty premium. There's certain things you can cut corners on. I don't know if you want to cut corners on your chocolate. I'm not making a lot, so maybe I'll do this. Okay, so I'm gonna need some pecan halves. I'm gonna go off-brand, generic on the pecans, because I just don't know that it's gonna matter that much. So yeah, I only need like a little over a cup, so I can get the small one for $6. I'm gonna do the small one. All right, so this is a little confusing with the baking flour, but you see a lot that says all-purpose. You see a lot that says self-rising, but I think the key here is the pre-sifted. The pre-sifted, because this one shows, you know, a picture of some cookies here, but it says all-purpose. I'm sure you can use it for other things, but I'm beginning to see where, okay, so you got enriched, bleached, pre-sifted, so you got pictures of pies and cookies. That's a good sign. Do you do a lot of baking, ma'am?
No. What are you looking for?
So for this recipe I'm doing, it calls for baking flour. So I'm assuming that the difference is the self-rising, pre-sifted versus like the all-purpose, or does it even matter? You know?
I don't know.
Oh,
But,
okay.
This says baking flour. I would get that.
You know what I mean? That's exactly what I'm thinking. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Excuse me, ma'am. You look like you do a lot of baking.
I don't.
You don't.
But I can see what I can help you with.
The difference between like a baking type of flour or an all-purpose flour, is it the way it's sifted, the self-rising?
Oh, to bring something, she's like, don't bring regular flour, bring baking flour.
Baking flour it is.
Yeah, because I'm like, all right, to me it's all the same.
You answered my question. Thank you. All right, so we've crisis averted. You know, so I've asked 2 ladies about baking flour, and I think we're losing it. You know, our generations of folks are just not, they're not versed in the differences. I'm learning. That was only 2 people I asked, of course. So. All right, moving right along, we have found Reynolds wax paper. Now I'm beginning to see parchment paper and wax paper. What's the difference? Comment below if you think you've got a good explanation, or does it even matter? But I'm sticking with what it asked for. The true baking OGs know how to cut the corners that save you a couple bucks. And that's how you learn. You know, what can you get away with? Here's what I'm working with so far. I've got a couple of round cake pans. And by the way, if you're doing this year, and you just don't get hung up, you know, if you get one thing that you can't find, or you know, you just make it work. All right, so life hack unlocked. So apparently, if you want to make buttermilk, you just throw some vinegar in with regular milk. I learned that today, and because you can't find buttermilk at Food Lion. I did. I did. It's even called wax paper, so I don't think I can mix it up. I almost went parchment, but you know, I don't think it's the same. I don't. All right. Cream cheese attained. I had picked up something called Neufchâtel cheese bar. I don't know what that is, but this is what I wanted. So this is the cream cheese original here. Cream cheese is attained. You get these for $1.99 a piece. The white vinegar. I'm pretty sure I got some of this at home, but I want to make sure I don't screw this up and not pick it up. Okay, folks. This is what we're working with here. I've got roughly 40 bucks into this. All right, so when you go buy a cake from Walmart, that's like 10 bucks, right? You got to ask yourself, what's in this? How can they're mass producing it, right? So they're pumping these things out of machines. You got low quality ingredients. The next time you go to a function and someone has a homemade dessert, and again, these items here, you can make multiple. I'm not going to use every bit of it. So cut that in half, you know, maybe $15, $16 in material plus your labor. You know, I'm an HVAC guy. I can appreciate time and what it really takes. So just understand that to get this right there, that very nice looking cake in that picture, I think you can see it better there. In order to get that, you got to buy that, and then you got to know what you're doing with it. And it's all time is money. So perspective is everything, and you put a little love into this, and you'll see what happens. So new appreciation for homemade desserts. Okay, so getting started here. Anyway, this thing's got pockets for things as you're going. You can keep your phone in there, or a couple spoons, what have you. So what I've learned is go ahead and preheat the oven, get that going, right? Don't mess around and wait till the last minute to get your oven preheated. Go ahead and have it ready. So bear with me on the camera angles, trying some different stuff in the kitchen. And again, fairly disinfected in here. I've got these bad boys right here, so I'm wiping down counters. I'm washing my hands. You may say, well, you're sounding a little sick yourself, Eric. Don't know. Could be just the fact that I've pulled out a couple years worth of dust out of the attic and been eating that for a couple of days. Here we go. Here goes nothing. So what we're working with is this baby here. Here we go. Here goes nothing. All right, so step one tells me to take about roughly 6 ounces of the white chocolate. I've tested these Ghirardelli, very tasty. I've got my boiling water. So we're going to mix the boiling water with the chocolate, the white chocolate, and then that should give us the beginning of the sauce. Sorry, not the sauce, but the, what do you call this? This is all new to me here, so stir until smooth. Stir that until smooth. Set aside and let it cool. That's all it says. That's step one. We're not skipping any steps. So I'm going to use this big wooden spoon right here to stir the chocolate. Not sure what I should use. It really doesn't say, but I figured a wooden spoon is pretty safe. Just a second here. We should have some boiling water. Oh, water's boiling. All right, we're going to take that boiling water right there. We're going to pour it right into here. All right, so that will go in there. Trying to do here. I can feel it getting soft in there. You know? See it getting mushy. And you stir that, and then let that cool. You set that aside. We let that cool. I switched over to the whisk. See this whisk right here? That whisks right through the. We're stirring that real good. We don't want to leave any chunks in there. It's liquidy. It's like a watery chocolate. So that sits to the side and we let that cool. For the next step, we break out the old wax paper here. Word to the wise, get some scissors. This isn't like dealing with aluminum foil. I got my pans, it says to grease them, so I did the bacon spray here. And that kind of cheated, so I got the bacon spray right there. Put that in the pan. It says do your wax paper with some flour as well. So we'll flour and grease the wax paper. I guess we're going to make sure that these cakes do not stick at all. Be very liberal with this. from what I understand. Now, you guys that do this a lot might be already laughing. You're giggling. What's he doing? It says grease. Use grease. I don't have any lard. I haven't used lard. Those who know. Nice and slick. All right, so we've got the KitchenAid mixer, courtesy of the Lachey's a couple Christmases ago. I've only used it a handful of times, but this bad boy is going to be my best friend in this project. Because if you've ever made anything where you're beating and mashing and your arms get wore out, hands, arthritis, old age. All right, so this thing lifts up here, and you got the different attachments here, and I'm not sure which one I want to use. This is a part of the recipe where you really got to pay attention, because it'll tell you like every little thing. It assumes that you know a little something about prep. So you've got the eggs here, you got egg whites involved, you got that white chocolate we just put together, that's involved. We got butter, there's whipping, there's speeds. Take your time, enjoy the process, gentlemen. Well, and ladies, but we tend to get in a hurry when we want to be finished. Baking is a process. That's why they say there's love that goes into this. I'm getting it now. There is. You have to think through some things. You gotta have all your stuff together before you get started, or you're gonna be frantic. Something's not gonna go right. The despair starts to set in. Okay, so here we go. We got the one stick of butter going in there, and that stick of butter right there is gonna get churned up gradually, adding some egg yolks. So just the yolks, all right? I've chosen this one. I think this should be the one we use. Correct me in the comments. Okay, guys, make sure you don't have it unlocked. Lock it once you put it down in there, because once you start this puppy up, she'll start jumping around on you. All right, so you got to come over here. You got your speeds. If you feel more comfortable starting off slow like me and then working your way up to it, you can see what I mean here as you crank this puppy up. You got the butter going there, and it's supposed to whip, but I'm not sure if that attachment's going to be the right one for my butter, but we'll let that go for a little while until it gets creamy. We're whipping that butter, so you can see the room temperature butter is crucial here. Got some eggs here, so what I've learned that if you crack the egg like that and kind of toss the all you really want is the yolk. So I kind of goofed that up, but so just to get the yolks out, I mean, I've seen it done a couple of different ways, but the older ladies on the videos I've been watching, you got that yolk sitting right there just like that in your hand. You just kind of slide that in there. 1, 2, so I got 4 of these to go. It's getting creamier and creamier. Again, I've got the measuring devices here, the measuring cups. So I'm supposed to do the sugar. This is the part I've been waiting for now. So you got the sugar, get ready to go in. Going in with the white chocolate. Got the eggs going. Right there you can see I got I think this is supposed to be more of a gradual process, but actually it's not looking bad. We're mixing. I remember something funny about vanilla extract. You guys, anybody remember, I think it was it Different Strokes? It was one of the sitcoms where the alcoholic uncle came to live with them, and maybe it was the aunt, whatever. All they had in there was the vanilla extract, because it's got alcohol in it, and they would go. Not that alcoholism is funny by any means, but I just thought I'd share that. Cause I was getting all nervous about the buttermilk thing. So apparently to make 1 cup of buttermilk, you just add a teaspoon or tablespoon, I can't remember, of vinegar, which sounds really bizarre to me. Okay, I'll correct that. That would be a buttermilk substitute. All right, so I've got the sifted flour about to go in there, the self-rising white lily baking flour. Now this is my mixture of baking soda, milk and vinegar. All that'll go into here. When that's done, this will come out of the bowl into something else, right? This will come out, and then I'll fold in another mixture. So it's like a 2-part thing before the batter's ready. Batter going here. This batter is really looking good. That is the component there that is so crucial, is the rising flour if you want to have a cake. I know that's a shocker to most of you, but so thankfully I salvaged the egg whites from the egg yolks from earlier, which I didn't see coming, but I lucked out. It was in the bowl. Some of you may frown upon this. I'm not sure, but that is. I can taste the white chocolate in there. The batter in the pans. It makes 3, so I saved some for a third one. Now, only thing I'm worried about is like the paper. I don't know. I should have got a little bit more liberal with the paper, but I don't know. I think it's going to turn out okay. 350. Putting the cakes in there right now, letting them go. I'm not sure how long. I have to look at the standby. All right, we're switching gears to the butter pecan frosting. 1 1/4 cup. Perfectly is what that package made. We're toasting the pecans here. The butter, the heat, and the moving around for about 10 minutes and get these things toasted up. Guys, that 20 minutes went by quick. These are looking like cakes. All right, that's got to cool. It's got to chill. I got another one to make of those, so I just keep the oven going. Right now I'm working on this frosting. Cream cheese going in there with some of the powdered sugar. That's going to whip. That's going to go in there with the toasted pecans as they're cooling off. We gotta let those cool off completely. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw these in the freezer just to make sure they're chilling correctly. All right, don't judge my freezer here. All right, going in the freezer. All right, so lots going on, so don't panic once you get these cakes out. All right, don't flip out. Just let them cool. Stand by, guys. This is going great. So these little corners, they lifted the cake right out of the pan, got the pan back in the oven. We are rolling. So the third one's in. The temptation at this point will be to start getting fast. All right, I will assure you that fast is not the approach with baking. Relax, enjoy the process. If you forget a little something here and there, no need to get excited. All right, so just stay with it, stay the course, working on some topping right now. Okay, so now we've got this going on with the confectioner sugar. You got the cream cheese, butter, and then you just mix all this together. It's kind of messy here. Maybe I can do it on low speed. Oh boy. You see, that's low speed. I don't know. It seems like that's a little out of control. Okay, stand by, stand by. Okay, we have got a frosted topping here. See that right there? That is not too sweet. I'm excited about how this is going to turn out. I really am. Okay, folks, that's what it looks like once you get the pecans and everything beat up in there. That is some good stuff. All right, I've got a plated cake here. So my goal is to take this knife here. I got this at the thrift store a while back. So, I mean, it's not perfect, but I've got a 3-tiered cake. I went sparingly in between the layers because I wanted to make sure I had enough for the outside. All right, so as you can see, this is a leftover microwave platter that I had from my last microwave, but it works really good. Let's get it the lighting. Here. All right, so I just spin it, kind of spin it as you let your cake cool. Don't get in a hurry. Number 1 rule in baking: do not be in a hurry, or you're going to be sad. All right, for the finished product, she's iced up, she's layered up. Not bad. I think it's a 7.5 out of 10. It should taste good. Right behind me, you can see Blake is posing with the actual magazine so you can see the differences.
Oh, don't be confused. It's not a magazine. It's the big book.
Oh, the big book. This isn't a magazine. This is a textbook of recipes. Here, tilt it back. We need some better lighting here. So that's what theirs looks like. And that looks good. I mean, I almost ran out of icing, you know. It's a little lopsided, but, you know, for first time, eventually it's just going to be all about the taste anyway. But anyway, a little sneak peek into phase 3. Coming soon. Okay, extra bonus footage. I don't have a cake topper. Is that the right word? I don't have a cake saver or any way to take it to church. So I got this bad boy right here. So this is a mixing bowl. This is an old microwave tray from our last microwave. Easy spinner. You can spin it to the side. It looks the best when you get there. So this should, without damaging the cake, if I feel it grab, I'll pull it back off. But I think we're good. Gold. You know, before you get there, you can stage it like this. Merry Christmas.
Adorbs.
Until next time. We'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned for phase 3. Phase 3 is coming up.